UTF file package. The UTF file package, it is extends from the PLSQL program to read and write the operating system file. For reading and writing the file, operating system file, you are using UTF file package. It provides a restricted version of operating system stream file IO text file. It can access the file in the operating system directory defined by the create directory statement. So if you want to create a directory statement here, we're using, and this all the part is present in the UTF file package. It is a predefined package which is helping you to create a file on the operating system by using a database event. So now we come to what are the different methods are available in this UTF file package. One is open function. It determines if the file handle refers to a open a file. So is open is used to check whether your file is open or not. F open function open a file for input and output. Then F close function close all open file. If any file is open, it is close it. F copy procedure, it copy the contiguous option for a file. F get attribute, it read and return the attribute of a disk file. Get line procedure, it read the text from a open file. Then F remove procedure, delete the disk file if you have sufficient privileges. F rename an existing of a new file. Put procedure, write a string to a file. Put line procedure, write a line to a file. So append on the operating system specific file. So these are the different UTF file package we are using. These are the methods. Then UTF file package, it is helping you fast by using of F open. It is open the file for reading purposes. Then get the line. So after file is open for reading the file, it use the get line method for reading the file, and it is checking here whether the file, whether the other data are present or not. If it is yes, then again it is read the file. It comes to here. If it is no, it is close the file. So here it have some kind of description. If open function open a file in a specified directory for input output. Is open function return the boolean value whenever a file refers to a open file. Use is open to check whether the file is already open before opening the file. Get line procedure, it is read the line from the text into the output buffer. Put and put line procedure, write to the text to open file. Put a procedure, provide a formatted output. It is providing a formatted output with two format specifier. The new line procedure terminate a line in an output file. The F flush procedure write all the data buffer in the memory to a file. F close procedure closes an open file. F close all procedure closes all open file, handle it for session. F close is used for closing all the files. These are the UTF file package we are using. If any doubt,
No, sir.
using available declare method. So first Okay, so these are the UTF-mail package. So first of all, the UTF-mail package, it is a utility for managing the email that include commonly used email feature, such as when you are sending a email, by attaching some document, and you are having some CC, BCC and returns receipt. The UTF mail package is not installed by default because the SMTP server configuration required and the security exposure this involved. When installing UTF mail, you should take the step to prevent the code defined by the SMTP server being swamped by the data transmission. To install the UTF mail, log as a DBA user. The setting of UTF mail package. So first of all, you have to install the UTF mail package. Then define the SMTP output server. Grant the user to required privileges. So you have to giving a granting for it. Then send an email. Invoke a UTF mail subprogram. First, you have to invoke it. The UTF mail subprogram. First, we are using send procedure. It packages an email message, locate SMTP information, deliver the message to the SMTP server for forwarding to the receipt. Send attach raw procedure, it represents send procedure overloaded for few attachments. Send attach varchar2 procedure, it represents the send procedure overloaded for varchar2 attachment. Okay, so it is having a send attach procedure. It is a UTF mail package we have. So when you are using send procedure, it contains the sender address. Means when we are sending the email, it is having a two part sender, sorry, from part. Then in a two part, we are passing a recipient. It is a carbon copy. Okay, CC means it is visible that you are giving a evidence to that person. BCC is a block carbon copy, so it is not visible to the other person that you are sending or attach the message, including the message to somebody. Subject, a string to include the email. Message, a text or message body. MIME type, the message default is text plain character set. Priority, the message priority default is none. So these are the value we have. So this is all about your mail and working with file. Now we have to go for dynamic SQL statement. So one is SQL statement that we're designing the SQL statement and it is run. But some SQL statement is there till you are not compile, you don't know whether you are creating a table, whether you are inserting a record, or whether you are updating a record. So what is the command you pass to the SQL that is not known at the time of designing. So at runtime, the user is passing the command. The user is trying to insert or trying to update, trying to delete or trying to create. So at runtime, you have to give a command to the SQL that you have to do that operation. So before that, it is unknown to the user means what to create. Means you have to create a table or you do any kind of DML operation. So that is unknown. So that call as the dynamic SQL statement. At runtime, you have to pass the command to the SQL that you have to do that work. So what is the execution flow of your SQL statement? How your SQL statement is executed? First, all the SQL statement go through some or all the following stages. First, we are using Purge means converting. Then bind means purging is what? Your PLSQL statement is converted to the SQL statement. Okay, so your programming language is converted to the SQL statement and it is inserted a record. Then bind the value. So after you are getting a result, or if you want to pass some kind of parameter, you have to store in that variable. So for storing the value in the variable that you are using the bind, then you are use the execute, then you use the fetch statement. Some stages may not be relevant for all the statement. The fetch is applicable to the query. For embedded SQL statements such as select, DML, merge, commit, save point, rollback, the purge and bind phases are done at the compile time. So purging and bind is done at the compile time. For dynamic SQL statement, all phases are performed at runtime. Okay, so dynamic means at runtime you have to do that work. So it is happen at runtime. Steps to process the SQL statement. All SQL statement have to go through the various stages. First is purge. Every SQL statement must be purged. Purging the statement includes checking the statement syntax, whether the syntax is correct or not, validating the statement, ensuring that all the reference to the object are correct and that relevant privileges to the object exist. Bind is what? After purging, the Oracle server may need the value from or for any bind variable in the statement. Means after converting what the result will come, the output will come, you have to store in a particular variable. The process of obtaining this value is called as a binding variable. This stage may be skipped if the statement doesn't contain any bind variable. Next is execute. At this point, Oracle server has all necessary information resource. You are getting all the necessary information and then statement is execute. For non-query statement, this is the last phase. Next is fetch. The fetch stage which is applicable to the query. The row are selected and ordered and each successive phase retrieve another row of the resultant until the last row has been fetched. So it will check till you are not getting the last phase. So you are fetching the information here. So these are the steps to go for or process the SQL statement. Dynamic SQL functionality if you require. So these are the traditional SQL statement we have. Select, insert, update, delete, merge, commit, and rollback. The structure of the SQL statement to be altered at runtime. So the structure will be changed at runtime. Access to the data definition statement and other SQL statement functionality in PLSQL. To perform this kind of PLSQL, you must construct the SQL statement dynamically. So for that reason, we're using native dynamic SQL statement with execute immediate, the DBMS underscore SQL package. So these are the two statement it is used to helping you creating dynamic SQL statement and traditional SQL statement that is limited to this command only. What is that dynamic SQL statement? The process of using SQL statement that are not embedded in your source program are constructed in the string and execute at runtime is known as dynamic SQL statement. The SQL statement are created dynamically at a runtime and can access and use the PLSQL variable. For example, you create a procedure that uses a dynamic SQL to operate a table whose name is not known until runtime. So until runtime, the name is not known, which table you want to create or which database you want to create, or execute the DDL statement or session control statement. So that is the work of your um, dynamic SQL statement. So use the dynamic SQL statement. Use dynamic SQL statement when full text dynamic SQL statement is unknown until runtime. Therefore, its syntax is checked at runtime. So dynamic SQL statement is syntax at runtime rather than the compile time. Use the dynamic SQL when the following item is unknown: the text of the SQL statement, such as command, what command you want to pass, the clause, and so on. The number of data type and host variable, how many data type you have to pass, how many variable you have to pass. Use the dynamic SQL statement to make your PLSQL program more general and flexible. Okay. So we cover up to 6.6. In the next class, we start with the NDS. Okay. So tomorrow we start with the NDS.
Yes, sir.